We all have an inner voice, one that guides us to make good decisions in life and love, and helps us to stay on the right path. But what happens when your inner voice starts to lead you astray, and you begin wondering if it's even still yours? When someone else gets inside your head and plays with your conscience, you might just completely lose yourself and suffer consequences you never imagined possible. January 29th, 2014. It's just past midnight in the historic city of Boston.
Boston, it's a beautiful city that's very diverse, and there's a very strong culture here.
It's a great city to get your life started. Lots of opportunities to do just about anything you'd like here.
But the city has also been suffering from an influx of gang violence.
Police were really trying to crack down on violent gang members throughout the city and get them off the street.
Over on the south side of town, 2 officers are surveilling the home of a well-known gang member, Bo Butler.
Bo was known for being really dangerous.
Bo's lifestyle has been a life of crime.
The officers spot Bo and a young African-American female exit the home and get into Bo's vehicle.
The plan was to simply follow them to see where they were going.
The officers pull out discreetly and trail the sedan. Once they get out to the main road, Bo's vehicle suddenly climbs to a high rate of speed.
The suspect accelerated to a dangerous speed, and the officers had no choice but to end their surveillance.
The officer turns on his lights and immediately starts chasing the car.
With the police cruiser hot on his trail, Bo begins to slow down and pulls over without incident. But as the officers prepare to approach Bo's vehicle, they know they must use extreme caution.
Car stop is the most dangerous thing a police officer can do.
When you're an officer, your life is at risk at all times, but now you have a known gang member with a history of utilizing weapons.
In their approach, officers notice an excess of movement inside the vehicle.
Bo is moving around, fidgeting, making gestures as if he's trying to conceal something.
The officers can't quite tell what's going on in the front seat between the 2 occupants.
As the officers make their way to the front of the sedan, that's when they see the gun.
They can see the female passenger has a bulge under her shirt.
The officers draw their firearms and tell Bo and the female to get out of the car with their hands up.
The female passenger and Bo exchange a look.
Police didn't know what was going to happen next.
In 2013, 19-year-old Boston native Jamila Tresvant had big dreams and a bright future.
Jamila was a really lovely young woman. People were naturally drawn to her.
Everyone loved her.
She had a beautiful smile and had lots of friends.
Jamila was working as a waitress at a local restaurant to save up for dental school.
I wanted to be a dentist because I liked going to the dentist. I used to ask them all types of questions.
She has a lot of drive. She's determined.
She had good intentions when it came to herself and her future goals.
In the spring of that year, Jamila was working overtime to make her dreams a reality. And that's when she met someone who would change her life forever. 23-year-old Bo Butler.
Bo and Jamila had a really strong connection from the moment they started to interact.
I was attracted to him. He was handsome. He had like these pretty nice brown eyes. He was really a sweetheart.
Though Jamila had never met Bo before, she immediately recognized his name.
Bo was well known in the streets. He had known gang ties and affiliations. When Jamila met him, he had recently gotten out of jail.
Jamila wasn't turned off by Beau's reputation. If anything, she was intrigued.
She liked the bad boy thing. This guy, is tough.
People always told me about his reputation, but he had manners. He was a gentleman.
When Beau asked Jamila if he could see her again after she got off work, she couldn't resist.
Jamila gave Beau her number, and they agreed to meet up after her shift.
Later that evening, the two clicked on every level and found each other irresistible.
They had like a magnetic chemistry. Although she was completely aware of his rap sheet, being in a gang and being the violent person that he was, none of that seemed to faze her or change her mind about being with him.
There was so much draw for her with Beau. He was charismatic and charming and alluring, and that kind of drew her into his world.
The bond was so quick. I think I was just so into him, I just rolled with the punches. We had like a lot of fun together.
Just a couple weeks after meeting, the two began sharing an apartment.
He would like run up to me and start kissing all over me. It was cute.
He showered her with love and affection. This was true love, and this was the person that she would spend the rest of her life with.
Even though he had this bad reputation, he was really a good person. He had a real genuine heart.
But soon, Jamila would see a new side of Beau and learn how dangerous her man really was.
She had no idea what she was in for.
January 29th, 2014. In their efforts to crack down on local gang violence, Boston police have found themselves toe-to-toe with Beau Butler and a female companion.
The female seemed to have a bulge in her shirt, and police were worried it was a weapon.
Officers command the occupants to get out of the vehicle.
At this time, police don't know if they're going to comply or not, so the tension is high.
Beau was well known to be quite aggressive and rough around the edges.
Fortunately, the duo complies with police and exits the vehicle without incident. Officers learn that the female is Beau's girlfriend, Jamila Tresvant.
She was clearly terrified.
I was nervous when that officer came to do a pat first.
The officer recovers a .22 Magnum revolver and also some rounds of ammunition.
Officers don't find any additional weaponry on Beau, but they aren't so sure the gun found on Jamila really belongs to her.
They tell me, we know that's not your gun. They said, we know whose gun it is.
Beau is the one that's a known gang member and has a history of carrying guns.
They said, tell us whose gun this is, and we're gonna just take that person whose gun it is to jail.
But Jamila's answer surprises them.
I told them that it was my gun.
It was clear that she was trying to protect Beau, but the police didn't have a choice.
They had to take her into custody and let Beau go free.
Beau said to me before I got in the car that he loved me. He said, I love you.
Little did police know, this was just the surface of a Pandora's box of dirty deeds Jamila's man had pushed her into.
They say your girlfriend is supposed to represent you or whatever. So I feel like he was kind of trying to give me that kind of image.
"19-year-old Jamila Tresvant was head over heels for 23-year-old Beau Butler.
From day one, Jamila knew that she wanted to be his woman. Their chemistry was truly magnetic and really powerful.
Even though Beau was known around town for his gang ties, Jamila saw past his tough exterior.
I was just so in love with this man. He made me feel like a woman.
She sees a side of him that all of those other people don't see. You know, they see the criminal, they see the dangerous person, they see the guy that's always armed. But to her, he's really sweet and gentle.
Jamila had never been with anyone like Beau before, and she was all in.
Opposites attract. Meeting somebody like Beau, who runs around with a gun, speeds, breaks the law. Maybe it's kind of exciting for her.
Bo has this extreme hold over her, and she's just very much in love with him.
But what Jamila didn't yet realize is that her love for Bo would soon put her on a destructive path and test her own morality.
For her, there's this internal battle taking place where she's trying to figure out, how can I change him and prove my love to him at the same time?
She just knew in that moment that, if I love him, this is what I was gonna have to do.
January 29th, 2014, South Boston. Police have just taken Jamila Tresvant into custody for unlawful possession of a firearm.
She says it's her gun.
It's an admission of guilt, and in Massachusetts, it's illegal to possess a firearm without a license or a permit. It's a felony offense.
Officers suspect Jamila is taking the fall for her boyfriend, Bo Butler.
They said they knew, but that wasn't my gun.
The police were aware of Bo. He had a history of having guns on his person.
They had already been surveilling him as part of their crackdown on local gangs.
But with Jamila taking full ownership of the weapon, police have no choice but to let Bo off easy.
Since they didn't have anything on Bo, he was free to go with a minor traffic citation.
After being filled in by the arresting officers, detectives begin looking into Jamila's case. What they discover bolsters the officers' theory that Jamila is trying to protect Bo.
She didn't have a violent history, so it seemed odd that the gun would be hers.
In this case, sounds like a model young teenager who has a bright future ahead of them.
This is a girl that was going to be educated as a dentist.
Detectives sit down to interrogate Jamila and get right to the point. They tell her they believe the gun was in Bo's possession at the time police pulled them over.
The officers had witnessed Bo in the front seat moving frantically and acting as though he was trying to hide something.
Bo had been in trouble with the law before and was currently on probation for assaulting an officer.
Detectives believe Bo asked her to hide the gun for him, and she agreed.
If someone's gonna go down for the gun, who's gonna go down longest? I'm a girl. You're a guy. This would be a third strike. You're looking at 10 to 15.
This incident was her chance to prove that she was really ride or die, that she was in it, 100%.
Detectives encourage Jamila to tell the truth.
Detectives really hope that Jamila would cooperate with them. They let her know that she doesn't have to do this. They said, we might be able to help you out if you can help us with this.
That is so rare, where officers are actually on your side and they're giving you an out. They wanted her so badly to just say the gun was his.
But Jamila won't budge.
At the end of the day, she insisted that the gun was hers.
In that moment, her priority was protecting Bo and saving Bo. And so she decided, I will take the fall. I will accept these charges.
Jamila is charged with unlawful possession of a firearm.
I was so scared because I knew I was gonna go to jail. I knew I wasn't coming home.
But soon, someone will come forward that will turn everything on its head and reveal the gun charge is only the beginning of the couple's transgressions.
Chemistry is just so strong that it's all about this one person, and I think that's what came over her.
You just don't do things like that for anybody. He did take control of my mind.
Jamila made it clear that Bo was her sole priority, and she had really separated herself from her family and friends and very quickly moved in with him and developed this intense love. However, she didn't fully understand what that meant. And so when the reality started to become clear to her, of course, that was very difficult for her. She never wanted Bo to question her loyalty.
January 29th, 2014. Police have just charged 19-year-old Jamila Tresvant for unlawful firearm possession. They believe Jamila is covering for her boyfriend, well-known gang member, 23-year-old Bo Butler. But with Jamila claiming the gun as her own, they have no proof.
She's not cooperating. Detectives have no choice but to charge Jamila with the possession of a firearm.
In the weeks leading up to Jamila's sentencing hearing, police notice she's continuing to correspond with her man.
He wrote letters, gave her money to put on her commissary.
While Jamila is in jail, Bo is still being the charismatic person, giving her the assurance that everything's gonna be okay.
We still was in a relationship. We was still so in love.
As far as Jamila was concerned, Bo was standing by her side. Their love was still strong, and that dream that she had of this long-term relationship would continue.
She still believed that her and Bo were going to end up together one day, that they were going to get married, have a family, and everything was going to go right back to normal.
To detectives, it seems Jamila is in this for the long haul.
They couldn't help but feel bad for this young woman. She was throwing her future away, and their hands were tied.
She was facing a maximum of 2 years in prison for this.
But just days before Jamila's sentencing hearing, a woman comes forward who could change everything.
She said that she had some information for the detectives that would help Jamila's case.
The woman identifies herself as Alexis Smith, one of Jamila's best friends.
She informed the investigators. She didn't want to see her friend take the fall for something that she believed her friend didn't do.
Alexis says after weeks of contemplating her friend's arrest, she couldn't stay quiet any longer.
She felt like Jamila was making the biggest mistake of her life.
According to Alexis, Bo was extremely manipulative, especially when it came to Jamila.
She said she was never a fan of Bo. She always thought he was a bad influence and someone that would bring her friend down. But Jamila couldn't be deterred.
He was very good with words. He was very good with manipulating people.
Sometimes if you're in love or infatuated with somebody, you'll agree to do something that goes against what you believe just to prove to that person that you're there for them.
Alexis tells detectives that one night, Bo's influence over Jamila became especially apparent.
Her friends were gathering. They were going to be having a good time, having a party. They weren't drinking, and a lot of flirting was happening between Jamila and Bo.
But the lively evening took a turn for the worst when the host accidentally spilled her drink on Bo, and it infuriated him.
Bo felt disrespected by her.
I feel like he felt challenged. Bo can't tolerate nothing.
Everyone got quiet, not sure what would happen next. Bo was seething.
Bo had the attention of everyone's eye. Everyone on the street knows that Bo always carries a weapon.
He was dangerous. A lot of people were scared of him, but he didn't put his hands on women. So he's just like, go beat her up.
Alexis says at first, Jamila thought her man was joking.
That's not my personality. I don't start problems with people. I'm not an aggressor.
But Jamila soon realized Bo was serious, and Alexis watched in shock as her friend did the unthinkable.
I willingly submitted. I was just so in love with this man that I probably got to the point where I would do anything for him. So I whooped her ass.
She assaulted this girl in front of everyone.
Alexis just couldn't believe that it was actually happening, and she was terrified.
Bo's torment didn't end there. Alexis says she and the other partygoers were frozen as Bo instructed Jamila to help him grab the host's TV.
We didn't have a TV where we lived at. She had a nice TV. So then now Bo's like, come on, we're gonna take that TV right there. He's like, come on, help me move it. So now the girl's screaming, going crazy. But because of his status, she just knew not to, like, touch him. She knew not to touch me. And we walked out with her TV.
Alexis states the party host never reported the assault or the theft. But after that, Alexis felt like she had lost Jamila.
The more isolated Jamila was with Bo, the more she forgot about like who she was, her values.
Jamila was fully invested in this relationship. He was her sole priority.
Alexis explains that eventually, Jamila's education even took a backseat to her relationship with Bo. And that's when she and Jamila's mother decided to have an intervention.
She and Jamila's mom tried to convince her not to see him again.
She was becoming sidetracked. I told her, Jamila, just what about dental school? Like, let's not forget about everything that you're planning for your life. You don't have to stay with him. It's like, seems dangerous. You could get hurt.
Her mother really wanted Jamila to just come home. She wanted her to step away from that relationship.
But the discussion was abruptly cut short when Bo showed up unannounced.
He walked in and told Jamila it was time to leave.
She ended up going with him. She just couldn't tell him no.
Jamila was so deep in that there was not much that they could say to change the situation.
I think little by little, she started to tune out the people in her life that really wanted to see the best for her.
I was disappointed. I had been talking the whole time to Jamila. She didn't listen. There's nothing I can do. We just have to sit back and wait and hope.
Alexis tells detectives that despite the pleas from her family and friends, Jamila's dedication to her man was only about to get worse.
He told her these guys were going to have to die.
She was willing to make certain sacrifices so that he knew that she was loyal and loved him.
In the fall of 2014, 19-year-old Jamila Tresvant sits in a jail cell, awaiting sentencing for a crime that police suspect she did not commit.
They actually charge her with this illegal possession of a firearm, and typical sentence for that would be a 2-year minimum mandatory.
Police believed that she was holding the gun for her boyfriend, Bo. But since Jamila was taking full responsibility, police had no proof.
Now detectives are speaking with Jamila's best friend, Alexis Smith, who claims she has information that could help Jamila get leniency from the judge.
Alexis says ever since Jamila started dating Bo, he had been trying to manipulate her into doing his dirty work for him.
It all started when he ordered Jamila into assaulting a woman at a party one night.
Bo felt like the party host disrespected him by spilling her drink on his clothes, and he ordered Jamila to punish the woman for what she'd done.
It wasn't even our personal beef. I didn't want to do that, because that's not even my personality.
Alexis says she and Jamila's mother tried to have an intervention with Jamila to get her to end things with Bo, but Jamila couldn't be swayed.
I'm like, you should come home. You know what I mean? And she didn't want to. She was like really into this relationship. I started realizing, okay, this is bad.
According to Alexis, things only got worse from there.
Alexis says that she and Jamila were hanging out at Jamila's place when Bo stormed in.
He was pacing back and forth and started going on and on about some guy that had pissed him off.
He said that boy's reputation is of him being a rat, like telling on somebody in a situation.
Alexis was terrified, and she says Jamila also seemed afraid.
Bo was a really scary guy, not somebody you wanted to be around when he was mad.
Bo was out for blood. He said he wanted to teach the guy a lesson. But Alexis tells detectives that what Bo said next made her heart sink.
He wanted to rob this particular person, and he wanted to enlist Jamila's help to accomplish that.
Alexis says she hoped that Jamila would make the right decision and refuse to help her man with another one of his schemes. She waited with bated breath as her friend began to mull things over.
I can imagine that being in that situation, Jamila is conflicted. So she wants to please her boyfriend, who she wants to have a future with, but she didn't have a prior criminal history. So her conscience maybe fell upon her.
I ain't never robbed nobody. That's not the type of person I am. It just wasn't me. I'm not like that. So that's not what I wanted to do.
She was uncomfortable with the idea.
Sensing Jamila's apprehension, Bo started laying it on thick.
The big part is, if you're gonna be with me when I do dirt, we're gonna do dirt together.
Bo said things like, I'm the only one that loves you. I'm always going to be there for you.
Some of the things, that he said to me, he was playing with my mind. That's how I feel. I just feel like he thought he could take control of my mind.
At some point, the charm turns into manipulation, asking a young woman to do something that she's not comfortable with, but having that expectation that she would do it anyway.
Alexis tells detectives she was horrified when she witnessed her friend reluctantly agree to Bo's robbery plan.
Jamila has allowed this person to become her only priority.
In her mind, she hears all the pet names and how much he loves her. So for her, it's important to go through with the plan.
That wasn't the right choice for me to do it, but I was just so in love.
She never wanted to disappoint Bo, but she was also at war within herself between the love that she had for Bo and her strong ethics and moral foundation. She was willing to make certain sacrifices so that he knew that she loved him.
With Jamila on board, Bo began to explain how they would carry out the robbery.
He explained that they were going to lure the man and his friend to a hotel room under the ruse of a party.
Bo would be waiting outside while Jamila kept the guys occupied in the hotel room.
Jamila would give him the signal, and then he would bust into the room with a gun.
He's like, just let me know when he's in the room. And when they're in the room, we're gonna come up and we're gonna tie them up.
But what Bo said next was even more chilling.
Bo mentioned that sometimes when you're doing those types of things, robbing people, you may have to get rid of them.
Bo had a violent temper and it could escalate real quickly. It was gonna turn violent, from a robbery to assault or a robbery to murder.
He would say, everybody in the situation gotta go. Basically, whoever we rob, they have to die.
September 2014. Boston detectives are hearing an unbelievable story from Alexis Smith, a friend of 19-year-old Jamila Tresvant.
Jamila was charged with unlawful possession of a firearm, but her friend believed she was taking the rap for her boyfriend.
Her boyfriend, Bo, was known for his gang ties, which is what had put the couple on the police's radar in the first place.
Alexis was hoping that if she could demonstrate Bo's manipulation over her friend, they might go easy on Jamila.
Alexis claims that this isn't the first time Bo has manipulated Jamila into doing his dirty work.
Bo had concocted a plot to rob a man that he had known, who he considered a rat.
I'm just thinking like, okay, so if we're gonna rob this person, we're just gonna go and we're gonna rob them. And that's it, we're gonna go on our way.
But Bo had other plans.
He would say, like, everybody in the situation gotta go. And I was never that type of person.
She has morals, but she's also in love. And she's so torn with the fact that he's asking her to do these horrible things.
Jamila is feeling conflicted because she wants a life with this man, but she doesn't like what he does.
Ultimately, she was still willing to help him with the robbery, even though she knew what the outcome might be.
That's his lifestyle. That wasn't my lifestyle, but when I made that decision, I made it a part of my life.
The next night, Bo and Jamila put their plan into action after telling the victims to meet them at a local hotel for the party.
She went inside the hotel room with the guys while Bo waited outside for her signal.
The guys were immediately a bit suspicious that no one was there yet.
When the victims asked where Bo and the other partygoers were, Jamila tried to stall them.
She's hanging out with the men, telling them other people are coming, texting Bo the whole time.
But once the plan was in motion, everything started to become too real.
She knew Bo would potentially really hurt or potentially kill this young man.
Bo was labeled as dangerous. A lot of people were scared of him. I remember him telling me, like, Jamila, everybody's gotta go.
She starts to realize, like, what am I doing? She was leading this guy to his potential death because of, her undying love for Bo.
Jamila had to make a decision about whether she was gonna lead this person into a trap or save his life. That's when her moral compass kicked in.
But at the end of the day, I did have a conscience. It was just too much. I chickened out right then and there, and I grabbed my phone.
Jamila texted Bo and told him the plan was off.
She decided to tell the guys that she was feeling sick and that they would have to have a rain check for the party.
The guys were obviously kind of confused and suspicious, but they left without ever knowing the actual danger they were in.
Bo was blowing up Jamila's phone, but she ignored the calls until the guys were out of the room.
When Jamila called Bo back, he was livid.
He was really disappointed in her, and he felt like she really wasn't his ride or die chick.
He told her he was going to leave her there, and she could find her own ride home.
That's when Jamila called Alexis to come pick her up.
She told Alexis everything that had happened.
She was devastated. She hated to disappoint Bo.
Alexis tells detectives she begged Jamila not to go back home to Bo.
She tried to get her to come home with her and stay there until they could figure something out.
Alexis thought it might be dangerous for Jamila to go home if Bo was angry.
But Jamila insisted on going back to her man.
She wanted to go back to him and make things right.
We were bonded by love, unbreakable, by loyalty. That's what he used to say to me all the time.
When Alexis dropped Jamila off at home, Bo was angrily waiting outside.
Bo expected Jamila to be his number one, to always follow his lead. But in this case, she failed to help him carry out his plan.
Alexis was terrified for her friend as Bo led her into the house, but she felt like her hands were tied.
She had tried so many times to get Jamila away from Bo, but Jamila just wouldn't listen.
Alexis says that was the last time she saw Jamila.
The next thing she knew, Jamila was behind bars on the gun charge.
The second she heard about it, she knew the guns must be Bo's, and this was just another scheme of his.
At this point, there was no doubt in anyone's mind who the gun belonged to. They knew Jamila was taking the fall for her man.
Detectives thank Alexis for her candor. And though it still doesn't provide definitive proof that the gun was Bo's, it does show a string of manipulative behavior.
Jamila was blinded by love and could not break Bo's power over her.
I would do anything to protect him, and he made me feel that way.
Armed with Alexis's statement, detectives feel they have just enough to get Jamila to recant her statement about the gun.
Police sat down with her and tried to, for lack of a better term, talk some sense into her.
Detectives lay it all on the table. They tell her everything that they learned from her friend Alexis, from the criminal acts that Bo tried to involve her in to the manipulation.
They said, we know who your boyfriend is and we know his rap sheet, but you're just saying that the gun is yours to protect him, and it's okay, we understand where your mindset was.
They remind Jamila that she still has a bright future ahead of her. She has a chance to change her statement and save herself.
They're giving you several opportunities to get out, and she would get away with just like a slap on the wrist.
They ask her one final time, whose gun is it that we found in your possession?
Unfortunately, detectives' efforts are in vain.
She insisted that the gun was hers.
Bo was clearly the voice in her head that stood out for her.
But soon, a shocking revelation will come to light. One that exposes the man Jamila just threw her life away for.
She told me, she's like, Bo has 2 babies on the way. I feel like I was young. I was young and I was dumb. I feel like I was in lust. Sometimes lust will make you do certain things. What I can say now, if anyone ever asks me, do I love Bo? No, I don't love him. Honestly, that's not my definition of love now. I have like a whole new outlook of how it looks. That's not what it is.
In the fall of 2014, 19-year-old Jamila Tresvant is awaiting sentencing after taking the fall for her man, 23-year-old gang member Bo Butler.
She was completely under Bo's spell and would do anything to prove her love to him.
She hid his gun for him, and once it was found by police, she said it was hers.
Massachusetts is among several states that have the most restrictive gun laws in the country.
Despite her friend Alexis Smith's statement demonstrating Bo's manipulation and influence over Jamila, police still have no proof the weapon is his.
Jamila consistently denied that the gun was Bo's, and she repeatedly stated that the gun was hers.
In September of 2014, Jamila's sentencing hearing gets underway.
Her entire family was there.
And she stood firm. You could look at her when she's looking at us like, I'm taking this for my man.
She stood there in the courtroom while they read the entire transcript of events, and her family had to witness and hear all of that.
The judge sentences Jamila to 22 months in prison. And at that point, reality hits her.
I cried right in the courtroom. I laid down and I cried.
She just started to sob and was completely embarrassed.
By protecting her man, she pretty much put a mark on her future that's going to stay with her for the rest of her life.
A few months into Jamila's sentence, she receives some shocking news about the man she just risked everything for.
A friend of hers called her to tell her what her man had been up to while she's serving time.
Bo slept with 2 different girls, and my friend told me, she's like, Bo has 2 babies on the way.
This, of course, was devastating to Jamila. She was completely and utterly committed to him and sacrificed her freedom.
So after all her sacrifices, after all she's done for him, proving that she loved him, proving that she's ride or die, Bo ends up having 2 other children with 2 other females.
In that moment, Jamila began to realize that this love that she felt was not reciprocated, and she felt like she was being played and was taken advantage of and used.
But the shock didn't stop there.
Bo was arrested for unlawful possession of a firearm a few months after she was incarcerated. So since Bo was already on probation, he was sentenced to a whopping 7 years.
He ended up still being in jail for the exact same charge, and essentially her sacrifice was for nothing.
You're trying to keep this guy out of jail, he goes anyways.
I was angry, and I just feel like it was just a waste because I could have stayed out.
Jamila was released from prison in November of 2016. Today, she looks back with regret on her decision to take the fall for her man.
I just made the dumbest mistake ever. If I could have went back, I would have never said that gun was mine. I just wish I didn't put myself in that situation.
It's sad that women feel like they have to forget themselves to keep a man.
I feel like I put him before me. My heart was too big. I didn't understand the consequences.
Jamila now knows Bo was never the right man for her and is looking forward to a future without him.
The experience was wild and crazy and scary and sad, but she was able to kick those habits and turn her life around. She doubled back to staying on track, trying to do what she needs to do for herself. She tries to be as choosy as she can on the guys that she dates nowadays.
I feel like I learned what real love is and what real love isn't. I learned to put myself first. Don't ever put anybody before you, especially not no man.
If you are in a healthy, supportive relationship, your partner will not ask you to do something that would put you in danger. And they certainly wouldn't ask you to do something that could lead to your arrest or potentially death or the harm of other people.
Jamila hopes that her story will inspire young women to listen to their inner voice and never compromise themselves for the sake of a relationship.
Women should sort of be reminded of that small voice is actually helping you.
Young women, the butterflies that you're feeling inside does not override the logic that you know to be true.
I'm glad that I can tell my story. Other girls learn from it. Don't ever do it.
We trust our inner voice to guide us in the right direction. But sometimes the voice inside our heart can be louder than the voice inside our head. If you're not careful, you can find yourself choosing love over what's right and suffering unimaginable consequences because of it. Love is a journey two people take together, a journey of discovery.
She was a college student, a very, very smart girl with a bright future ahead of her.
He had aspirations to be a rapper, and he was good at it.
They began dating. They became inseparable.
And when you're ready to ride or die, you have to be ready to go wherever the journey takes you.
She had two different lives she was living.
Who are you with?
I don't even want to say no name.
She was clearly a ride or die for him. She wanted to protect him at all costs.
Because sometimes the dying is real.
He is deceased in the passenger side of his friend's vehicle.
And sometimes what you find at the end of the journey isn't a life together, but a life sentence.
She was like, basically, if I did know, I wouldn't tell you.
She had this level of loyalty for him, but she did what she had to do to help her man.
June 30th, 2012. It's a humid weekend in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Baton Rouge, as I knew it growing up, was a very lovely place, full of culture, very family-oriented.
But in the years since Hurricane Katrina, the city has changed.
After Katrina, when we had a lot of people moving from New Orleans and other areas into Baton Rouge, you had the rivals and you had the turf wars and that kind of thing, so the city started getting more violent.
Like most cities, you have the fear of walking alone or driving at night now because of the crime.
At 2 a.m. on this balmy Saturday morning, fear becomes reality.
911 is flooded with calls to the Baton Rouge Police Department.
We received a call that there had been a shooting.
When police arrive at the scene, they find a car sitting at a stoplight.
There was shattered glass all over the concrete and people were screaming.
They discovered that there were two victims that were injured.
The driver of the car, Andre Miles, has a bullet wound in his foot.
They were sitting at the traffic light and his foot was on the brake, and one of those shots that was fired into the vehicle actually hit him in the foot.
Andre tells the police that the shots were fired through the window at the passenger in the car, Jordan Key.
He's worried about his friend Jordan, who's also been shot. Officers take Jordan's vitals and they find that Jordan is deceased.
Our focus is now, who is this individual? We have to find out who is he so that we can start putting the pieces together.
Growing up, Jordan Key had always been the boy that everyone liked.
Jordan was a very loving child. He came from a family that was full of love, a joyous family.
He was such a hilarious kid. He loved to play jokes.
Jordan was very, very talented in more than one way. He can draw. He was also an amazing dancer.
When his family moved from California to Louisiana, the talented jokester quickly made new friends.
Jordan and Andre met in high school, and they became friends instantly.
They hung out a lot, and they were really like brothers more so than best friends.
Around that same time, Jordan also found his true ambition.
In high school, Jordan and Andre were both connected to the local hip-hop scene in Baton Rouge, and they were very well known.
I always wanted him to sing in the church choir because he had the talent, he had the gift, and he had the voice. But being a young man, he chose to do rap.
After high school, Jordan joined a local rap group, and he started recording as often as he could.
Jordan also wanted to further his education.
We were making plans of him entering into a community college.
With Jordan planning to go to college as well as his music career, he really had a bright future ahead of him.
But now, Jordan's promising future will never come to fruition.
Jordan Key, the deceased, had suffered a fatal gunshot wound to the head area.
When the devastating news reaches Jordan's family, they're heartbroken.
The morning I found out that Jordan had been murdered, I wasn't feeling really well on that day. And my dad called me, and he said, well, there's been an incident. Jordan and Andre were shot last night, and Jordan didn't make it. I felt as if the world had just completely stopped.
My daughter Gina called, and they always expect me to be the more calm one. But it wasn't a pleasant moment. There was a lot of crying.
Meanwhile, homicide detectives arrive on the scene and make contact with their surviving victim, Andre Miles.
Andre explains that after going to a party, he and Jordan were on their way home when they stopped at an intersection.
The two victims were sitting in the vehicle at a red light, just listening to music and talking. And all of a sudden, shots ring out. He felt this pain in his foot, and Jordan is not responding to him. And it was at that time he looked to his right and realized that Jordan was injured.
He says that he didn't get a good look at the gunman because the gunman came up from behind them on the passenger side of the car.
It isn't too much to go on. But as EMTs prepare to transport Andre to the hospital, the police find another witness.
James Logan was a security guard who was just getting off of his shift, and he says that he was at the light and saw everything.
James happened to notice a black male get out of the passenger side of the vehicle that was behind him.
James described the gunman as a black male wearing a white t-shirt and dark shorts.
While he's watching the guy walks over to the car and pulls out a gun and fires 3 shots into the car.
As a security guard, James was armed. He told police that he got out of the car, drew his weapon, and told the man to drop the gun.
His bravery, there's not enough words to describe it. He didn't even think about it. Honestly, he thought like a first responder.
James says that the gunman jumped into a black sedan as it sped away.
He says the driver was also a black male.
As the vehicle sped away, James got the license plate number.
Investigators put out an all-points bulletin with the license plate number that James Logan provided.
The bulletin immediately pays off.
Right away, they get a hit. A patrol officer spots the car.
That officer immediately puts on his lights.
This officer is in full-on pursuit of the alleged murder suspects.
On June 30th, 2012, Baton Rouge police are in hot pursuit of the suspects responsible for the fatal shooting of 18-year-old Jordan Key.
The suspects attempted to flee the area, but the area that they tried to flee ended up being a dead end. They bailed from the vehicle and they fled on foot.
The officer chases them through the woods, but they manage to escape.
After detectives receive word of what's transpired, they swiftly arrive at the location.
Now police have a second crime scene to analyze, and that's the getaway car.
Inside the car, investigators find what they believe is the murder weapon.
There was a handgun on the back floorboard.
The gun appears to be jammed. This might explain why the suspects never fired any more shots at the witness or police who were chasing them.
Police hope that the vehicle's license plate is the key to tracking down the suspects.
We're running license plates and VIN numbers to find out who is this vehicle registered to.
The car is registered to a woman named Sienna Washington.
We knew that it was a female. We also knew from our witness that the individuals that were in the vehicle were definitely all males.
Was the car stolen? Or is there a connection between the suspects and the woman registered as the owner?
Investigators head to the address found on Sienna's vehicle registration, hoping to find the two perps there.
When detectives arrive at the address, they're met by a man who identifies himself as Sienna's boyfriend, Frederick Gaines.
Frederick told the detectives that Sienna was not at home. She was at work.
Something immediately stands out to detectives about Frederick.
Frederick is a match for one of the suspects seen fleeing from the vehicle.
We start inquiring about his girlfriend's vehicle. He informs us that she had been robbed.
He said the car was stolen in a recent carjacking.
Detectives are highly suspicious of Frederick. They ask him to come back to the station for a formal interview. Detectives begin by asking Frederick for more details about the carjacking.
The day before, somebody stopped her and demanded money. So she got out and they drove off.
Frederick insists he doesn't know anything about Jordan Key's murder.
You have anything to do with it? You were nowhere around College Drive tonight, right?
He denied any involvement. He denied just everything.
Frederick isn't willing to budge. And even though they believe he's one of the assailants, they don't have enough evidence on him to make an arrest.
Detectives soon get a call that sends the case spiraling in a new direction.
He said he knew the individual that did the shooting.
He said, you need to talk to Chatley Chesterfield and his girlfriend, Essence Dyson.
I don't hope this happens to any family, but it does every day in Baton Rouge, and I know it's happening in other places. And every time I see this, it does something to me because they're so young. The kids that's dying young and the ones that's doing it is young. There's no more old-fashioned fist fights, you know, high-five me, we're good, bye. It's the gun thing. And it's really sad that we've come to this.
July 2012. Detectives in Baton Rouge are investigating the murder of 18-year-old Jordan Key, who was gunned down at point-blank range while stopped at a red light.
Police believe that a man named Frederick Gaines may be one of the assailants, but they need to gather more evidence before they can say for sure.
That afternoon, detectives receive a mysterious phone call that points them in a new direction.
According to the informant, the people responsible are local rapper Chad Lee Chesterfield, who goes by the name Chad the Youngin, and his girlfriend, 19-year-old Essence Dyson. The informant says that's all that he can tell them at this time and hangs up.
With just the names to go on, investigators start by checking their database.
When they do a background check on Chad Lee, they realize that he has been arrested before and has a few priors.
The arrests weren't for anything serious. In fact, they were classified as juvenile because he was only 17.
19-year-old Essence Dyson has also had some run-ins with the law.
She did have a criminal record. It was kind of minor. There was a simple robbery, a simple battery on her record. We wouldn't describe her as a hardened criminal.
Essence had a real good family. They gave her a lot of support.
She was adored by her mother and father. She was a college student at LSU, a math major, a very, very smart girl with a bright future ahead of her.
But Essence was no ordinary college student.
During the day, she was a student, and then during the night, she was, she had two different lives she was living.
Essence Dyson loved the hip-hop lifestyle, the thriving music scene in Baton Rouge.
She was very, very closely affiliated with a lot of these little rap groups that were feuding with each other.
And that's how she met Chad the Youngin Chesterfield.
He had aspirations to be a rapper, and he was good at it.
At 17, he was already on his way.
Chad was a part of the Kane Music Mafia, a local rap group in Baton Rouge.
Essence met Chad at a party for prominent Baton Rouge rapper Mr. Kane.
And they had the same friends, and they hung around each other, and Essence would go to Chad's concerts, and her friends and his friends, they all would hang out.
They began dating. They became inseparable. The two were always together.
Was the murder of Jordan Key another incident in the violent feuds of the Baton Rouge music scene?
Jordan was an aspiring rapper.
Baton Rouge police were already investigating multiple incidences between the city's rappers.
There were multiple task forces trying to get a hold of all this, and so these different groups were being identified, members of the groups. We just noticed that so many of them had a common name that was affiliated with them, and that name was Essence Dyson.
If Jordan was having a beef with Chad Lee Chesterfield, it would give him a reason for Chad's girlfriend, Essence, to be involved.
Investigators wanted to question both of them.
Detectives follow back up with the surviving victim, Andre Miles, to see if he knows them.
Andre says that he's known both Essence and Chad Lee for years.
He actually went to school with Essence, and he knows Chad Lee from the neighborhood.
In fact, Andre now recalls that he saw Essence not long before the shooting.
Andre had been working as security at a party, and he was waiting for the person who was supposed to pay him to come and bring the money.
There was this big parking lot where people would hang out after the clubs had closed. So Andre and Jordan were waiting there for the guy that was supposed to pay Andre.
Around 2 a.m., Andre and Jordan went into the store for a few minutes.
They went in and, used the restroom, but when they came out, they actually saw Essence.
Essence was standing there, and of course they stopped and had a conversation with her because they knew her.
Andre says they talked outside the store for a couple of minutes.
They stopped and they talked, just, friendly. What are y'all getting into? What are you doing after this?
They asked her if she needed a ride. She said no, she was waiting on her sister to come out of the store. Andre said that the interaction felt strange, like something was off with her.
After retrieving Andre's payment, the friends parted ways.
Andre said that they told Essence goodbye and left the parking lot. Minutes later, the shooting occurred.
To detectives, the timing certainly seems suspicious.
Their number one priority is now tracking down Chatley Chesterfield and Essence Dyson.
Later that day, detectives received word that although Chatley is nowhere to be found, police have located Essence.
We transported her to our office.
Will she be the key to finally unraveling this case?
She just had this very negative demeanor.
She was clearly a ride or die for Chatley. She wanted to protect him at all costs.
On July 18th, 2012, Baton Rouge detectives are sitting down with 19-year-old college student Essence Dyson regarding her possible involvement in the shooting death of Jordan Key.
A phone tip had pointed police toward Essence and her boyfriend, Chatley Chad Chesterfield. And Andre Miles, who was with Jordan when he was killed, told the investigators that he talked to Essence in the parking lot only a few minutes before the murder.
Getting any useful information out of Essence will be easier said than done.
She just had this very negative demeanor. Basically, if I did know, I wouldn't tell you.
Oh, okay. Who are you with? I don't want to say their name because I don't know if they want to get involved with the police. So I don't even want to say no name.
Detectives continue to press Essence, and she finally starts to open up.
She admits that she knows Jordan Key and Andre Miles and that she saw them that night at the store.
There was nothing nefarious about it. It was just a chance meeting.
Essence says it was soon after they left that she caught up with Jordan and Andre at a stoplight.
I was right behind their car, but I didn't see nobody walk up to the car because we was at the red light and I was on my phone. You know, you ain't supposed to. And I just heard gunshots. I look up.
What was the description of the guy that you saw?
He was like a little taller than me.
What color shirt was he wearing?
White.
And one thing she's sure of is that it wasn't Chatley.
And you're familiar with what the shooter would look like if it was somebody that you knew?
Yes.
There wasn't nobody that you knew?
It wasn't.
Essence said that she never saw her boyfriend, Chatley Chesterfield, that night. As far as she knew, he was at home the whole time.
Detectives ask Essence where Chatley is now. And that's when she completely clams up.
We kept pressing and pressing and pressing, trying to get information. Then finally, she was just like, I don't have anything else to say without a lawyer present.
You're digging yourself into a hole that you're not going to be able to get yourself out of. So that's your statement?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I think you're making a terrible mistake. I think you're going to regret this.
Can I just go home?
Until they can strengthen their theory that she and Chatley are behind this crime, they must let her go.
Now that they have a statement from Essence, tracking down Chatley becomes the focus of the investigation.
We have officers out and everyone's telling us that he's not there.
It was an elaborate plot by all of Chad's supporters to hide him. They even named it Run Chad Run.
It was just everywhere on social media. To think of the amount of people that actually participated in the Run Chad Run movement was disgusting.
The search for Chad eventually expands outside Baton Rouge.
The Baton Rouge Police Department enlisted the help of different law enforcement agencies.
We had the U.S. Marshals involved, state police involved.
It takes over 3 months, but the effort finally pays off.
They find him hiding out in Baker, Louisiana, which is just about 10 miles outside of Baton Rouge.
When they question Chatley, the investigators get straight to the point.
Were you involved in that shooting? No. Do you know anything about the shooting?
He denied being present. He denied everything.
Who put you up to do it?
Do it.
Okay, who did it?
I don't know.
So what you running for?
Cause if I turn myself in, then I ain't trying to go to.
He started off saying that he didn't know anything about the shooting, wasn't at the intersection. Then he changed it to say he had a friend there who looked like him, and maybe that's why they thought it was him.
The detectives keep pushing, and Chad's story changes again.
Tell me what happened.
I was in the car with Jason. I don't know if y'all know right now. I was in the car with him. I just seen somebody walk up and start shooting. I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't trying to see who it was because I was ducking.
Chatley claims that after they heard the gunshots, he and Essence took off.
Chatley said they never contacted the police because they did not want to get involved.
So that's a statement that you want to give?
I'll give that statement.
Chatley's version of events is entirely different from what Essence Dyson has told investigators.
Essence never mentioned him being with her that night, but Chad won't budge on his story.
In fact, Chatley downplays his relationship with Essence.
You and her tight then?
Oh man, Essence? I've been knowing her, but we ain't close like that. Like,
y'all not or y'all weren't?
We just talk to each other because we've been knowing each other.
Getting nowhere with Chatley Chesterfield, detectives decide to circle back to Frederick Gaines, who they still believe was the likely getaway driver in the crime.
Perhaps now that they have Essence and Chatley in their crosshairs, they could use that to get Frederick to flip.
And detectives are in luck.
He feels the walls are closing in on him, and he's ready to tell it all.
Frederick was just following orders.
In July of 2012, Baton Rouge police believe Chatley Chesterfield and Essence Dyson are behind the murder of 18-year-old Jordan Key. But with both suspects giving very different accounts of what happened that night, they're hoping the possible getaway driver, Frederick Gaines, can help them clear things up.
They want to speak to him again to see if he will flip on the other two.
If you willing to take the charge for pulling that trigger, that's on you. I know you didn't do it, but that's fine. That's totally up to you. It's totally up to you. Well, now's your time to help yourself. You've been there already. You see what I'm saying?
The threat of ending up back behind bars causes Frederick to cave.
He kind of felt like, okay, well, they got me now. He decided that I'm gonna come clean and make this right and just take responsibility for my actions.
You're gonna break it down right now with this total breakage.
Frederick admits that he was driving the getaway car that night, but claims he had no idea what was going to happen after he agreed to give his pal, Chatley Chesterfield, a ride home from the club.
He wasn't aware of what he was about to get himself into.
Frederick says that Chatley was constantly on the phone during the car ride.
Chad was talking on the phone, and he had the phone on speaker.
He was talking to Essence Dyson.
That's one of the chicks with Chad was, I guess, messing with at the time.
So you recognized Essence's voice?
Yeah, I recognized her voice.
And Frederick could also hear what they were talking about.
He said that Essence had been following Jordan Key that night for Chatley while he was doing his show at the club.
Essence told Chad that she'd spotted Jordan and his friend Andre outside a local convenience store.
Told to Chad about telling him, you know what, they right here, right now. Chad was like, well, keep an eye on him. Stay close to him until we get there. Because we already in the car on the way. So now, when I hear this, though, I'm like, I'm asking them, like, well, what did it do? What's going on here? Well, we got into it with him a few months back or something. We just catching up to him.
According to Frederick, Essence kept Chad continuously informed of Jordan's whereabouts.
I see them, they're over here, kind of giving a play-by-play.
When Jordan and Andre left, Essence followed them in her vehicle. She continued to keep Chatley updated on where they were going.
Frederick and Chatley caught up with Jordan at a red light.
They pulled up to the light and he saw Essence clear as day in the car right behind Jordan Key.
He's like, well, that's the dudes right there in that first car. And that's Essence or whoever else in the car behind him was following him. And I'm like, so what you about to do? And he's like, we about to see you. Before I know it, he just jumped out my car.
Chatley went over to Jordan's side and opened fire.
As Frederick sat frozen in shock, Chatley ran back to the car and jumped in the passenger seat.
And once he got in, he was like, man, go. He was like, man, you better get us away, man. You know, we can't get caught out here like this. I just, just made sure I got away.
But the two men didn't make it far.
He tried to outrun the police, but ended up taking a turn onto a dead-end road. So they abandoned the car and fled on foot.
After they bailed out of the car, he and Chatley split up. He made his way back to his girlfriend's house to lay low.
Frederick claims he was afraid to tell the police what happened in his initial interview.
I just seen you kill somebody.
Frederick said that he saw what Chatley did to Jordan firsthand, and he was afraid that if he didn't keep quiet, he would be next.
Frederick also says he's since learned why Chad wanted Jordan Key dead.
They had a disagreement and a problem that stemmed from some rap songs.
Both Jordan and Chatley were very talented local artists. Chatley was a part of Mr. Kane's Kane Music Mafia. Jordan was a part of a different group. And their beef started really over rap lyrics, and it just spun out of control.
They did have some type of rift between the two parties because some music had been taken away from the party that Jordan was with. So they were in a disagreement about that. But we didn't think it was anything that was of a major concern, that it would lead to Jordan's death.
The motive is the last piece of the puzzle.
After speaking with Frederick, detectives finally believe that they have a clear picture of what happened that night.
Essence and Chad were both charged with second-degree murder.
Police also charged Frederick Gaines with accessory to murder.
Since Frederick agreed to cooperate with investigators and testify against Chatley, his charges are eventually dropped.
Investigators are hoping the same type of deal works on Essence.
She could get her charges reduced if she pled guilty and testified against her man.
Their biggest priority at this point is getting a guilty verdict for Chatley, since he was the mastermind and the triggerman.
But prosecutors never could have imagined just how dedicated Essence really was to Chatley, Chad the Youngin' Chesterfield.
She felt like Chatley was her ride or die.
I think she would have felt that she betrayed Chad.
Moving forward through this journey of losing a child is very painful. Every day is not sunshine, roses, happy, but every day is not dark either. There are a lot of dark days, but we do have a time where we can embrace what God gives us his love, his peace, his joy. And although this is a very, very negative situation, there is always hope in this journey. And I just want to encourage mothers to hang in there and take it one day at a time, one moment, 1 minute, 1 second at a time. And we will make it. We will make it.
By the fall of 2012, police in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, have finally pieced together what happened in the tragic murder of 18-year-old aspiring rapper Jordan Keys.
Investigators believe that a rival rapper, Chatley Chesterfield, who goes by the name of Chad the Youngin, targeted Jordan with the help of his girlfriend, Essence Dyson.
Chatley and Jordan apparently had beef over some stolen rap music.
With Chad Chesterfield identified as the shooter, the prosecution hopes Essence will agree to testify against him at trial.
The district attorney was willing to reduce the charges against Essence in return for information that would guarantee a guilty verdict against Chad, the person that actually pulled the trigger.
To everyone's surprise, Essence refuses to make a deal.
Essence Dyson stuck to her story. She said that she couldn't testify against Chatley because she had no information to give prosecutors.
I think she would have felt that she betrayed Chad. So Essence didn't want to testify.
She felt like Chatley was her ride or die. She refused to turn against him.
In November of 2015, Chatley Chesterfield and Essence Dyson go on trial in East Baton Rouge Parish.
The trial was very emotional. The courtroom was full every time we went. Not just with our family and friends, but his friends and family as well.
There was a lot of tension between the Chad and Essence friends and family side.
However, Essence and Chad aren't bothered by the tense mood in the courtroom.
Passing notes and talking and giggling and that sort of thing. Kind of like kids. I'm not sure if either of them understood the severity of what they were facing at that time.
She was smiling like nothing had ever happened.
I had to indicate to both of them that they had to be aware that the jury was always paying attention and looking, so they have to not be as playful or joyful, because this was a serious case.
Their apparent lack of remorse plays into the prosecution's argument.
Essence and Chatley were intentionally looking for Jordan Key to murder him in cold blood, and Essence did what she had to do to help her man. Ballistics confirmed that the weapon found in the abandoned vehicle matched the shell casings of the weapon used at the crime scene.
The evidence gathered from the getaway car proved that Chad Chesterfield was one of 2 men who fled the scene of the shooting.
There was DNA evidence on the handles of the car doors, on the murder weapon, and throughout the car.
But Essence Dyson was in her own car, and her attorney tells the jury that she had nothing to do with the shooting.
Our defense was that this was a chance meeting, and while Essence was present in the area, she didn't have any criminal culpability in any of this.
Her lawyers argue that even if she did let Chatley know where Jordan was, she never knew that he was going to kill him.
When the case goes to the jury, they side with the prosecution.
They find Essence guilty of second-degree murder.
She was sentenced to life without the possibility of parole.
Chatley is also found guilty of second-degree murder. But since he's underage, his sentence is decidedly less harsh than Essence's.
Chad, who was 17, could not receive a life sentence without parole.
He would be eligible for parole in 30 years.
Even though Essence was his accomplice, she could end up doing more time in prison than him simply because of their age differences.
While the sentences come as a relief to Jordan Key's family, they bring little comfort.
To me, they got what they deserved, but you're not gonna ever forget it. It's like, yeah, justice has been served, but what about the families that's left behind to grieve?
Not only have I lost my child, but he was robbed of the opportunity to show the world who he was, show the gifts that God had given him that was for the world to see.
One thing that I would want people to know about my grandson is that there was greatness on the inside of him, and it was taken away.
Essence Dyson will forever live with the consequences of the murder she helped her man commit.
I just wish that this could have been avoided. Maybe she could have gotten that degree in math and been working for NASA.
A person like her comes from a great background, the type of family she had, the type of future that she would have had. I think it's unfortunate that she had this level of loyalty for him because it ended up costing her her freedom.
To young women, please don't get yourself tied up with these guys that call themselves gangsters and, you know, this is kind of lifestyle with the fast money and the cars. That's not all it is to life. You know, you can do better with your life than that.
For some women, love means standing by your man, no matter the cost. And ride or die means you're ready to go wherever your man takes you. But when that ride takes you on a road of no return, you may be asking yourself if the price was really worth it.
All right, guys, thank you very much for coming today. I have called you for a very special thing. We have an event day after tomorrow, and Khushi, you will make the necessary arrangements. Khushi,
Yeah, sure, sir.
you seem a bit off today.
Everything is good, sir. Don't worry, I will do.
All right, I am counting on you. All the very best.
ਕੱਲ ਰਾਤੀ ਰੋਈਆਂ ਮੈਂ ਤੇਰੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਸੁਣਿਆ ਏ ਤੂੰ ਵੀ ਰੋਇਆ ਮੇਰੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਚ ਲੜਾ ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਤੇਰੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਮੁੰਡਿਆਂ ਚ ਅੜੇ ਤੂੰ ਵੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਮੈਂ ਨਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਕਰਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਨਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਕਰਾਂ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਖਰੇ ਜਿਹੇ ਦਿਖਾਵੇਂ ਇੰਨਾ ਨਾ ਸਤਾਇਆ ਕਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮੇਰੀ ਜਾਨ ਨਿਕਲ ਨਾ ਜਾਵੇ ਮੈਂ ਜਦ ਵੀ ਕੁਝ ਬੋਲਾਂ तेरा नाम बुलाते आवे ना 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 ਪੁੱਛਦੀ ਮੈਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸੱਚ ਸੱਚ ਦੱਸੀ ਵੇ ਇੱਕ ਵੀ ਨਾ ਗੱਲ ਵੇ ਤੂੰ ਦਿਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੱਖੀ ਵੇ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੀ ਵੇ ਤੇਰਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਵੇ ਸੁਣ ਮੇਰੀ ਸੁਣ ਲੈ ਯਾਰ ਵੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੋਹਣਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਏ ਹੈ ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਲੜਦਾ ਏ ਜਦ ਵੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਵੇਖ ਕੇ ਸੜਦਾ ਏ ਰਾਜ ਰਾਜ ਤੂੰ ਹਰ ਵਾਰੀ ਹੋਏ ਰਾਜ ਤੂੰ ਹਰ ਵਾਰੀ ਲਾਰੇ ਲਾਵੇਂ ਇੰਨਾ ਨਾ ਸਤਾਇਆ ਕਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮੇਰੀ ਜਾਨ ਨਿਕਲ ਨਾ ਜਾਵੇ ਮੈਂ ਜਦ ਵੀ ਕੁਝ ਬੋਲਾਂ ਤੇਰਾ ਨਾਮ ਬੁਲਾਤੇ ਆਵੇ ਸਾਰਾ ਦਿਨ ਬਿਜ਼ੀ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਏ ਤੂੰ ਯਾਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਬਹਿਣਾ ਏ ਤੇਰੀ ਦੂਰੀ ਤੇ ਮਜਬੂਰੀ ਦਿਲ ਮੇਰਾ ਏ ਸਹਿੰਦਾ ਏ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਜਾਵਾਂ ਨਾ ਜਾਵਾਂ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਗੱਲ ਮੈਂ ਪੁੱਛਦੀ ਆ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਦੇ ਮਨਾਉਂਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਰੁੱਸਦੀ छावे इन्ना ना सताया कर मैनू मेरी जान निकल ना जावे मैं जद भी कुछ बोला तेरा नाम बुलाते आवे
हे गाइस, तो अभी आपने हमारा दुनिया सॉन्ग देखा, सो प्लीज कमेंट करके बताना कि आपको सॉन्ग कैसा लगा।
एंड हाँ, वीडियो को लाइक करना, जाने से पहले रिपल म्यूजिक स्टूडियोज के चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर लेना। थैंक यू, बाय बाय एवरीवन।